Oh, I remember that. Tootie. Oh my goodness.
Okay, see, I hate when she frowning. You frowning, babe. Your birthday's coming up, and baby, I want you around me. I swear that I'm gonna put a ring on it. Baby, you ready?
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are new here, I'm Nikita Reyanna, and occasionally I do vlogs. Occasionally I come on here and I talk. Majority of the time I do my makeup on here. Hold on, Tootie. We have a special guest now, somebody new, and her name is Sayori. Okay, Tootie, these lights bright. I'm sorry. I had my baby, so that's what we're gonna get into in today's video. We're just gonna jump right into it. It really, if I was to give it like a, do I want to do it again? Do I want to give birth again? No. No. But is it an amazing experience? Yes, it really is. I got my Tootie from it. She's staring at me this whole time, y'all. She is so hungry. First of all, I wanted to have a completely natural birth. I really wanted to have a home birth, but that was way out of the picture. But I wanted to have a natural birth. I did not want to be induced. I didn't really want to have any medical intervention. You know what I'm saying? I did not want to have an epidural either. I don't know why I was so terrified of the epidural. Probably because of my sister. When she gave birth, she was allergic. And it's always some horror stories about it. So this is going to be a positive birth story, guys. For real. So basically, I told y'all she was due November 30th. She was not coming. She wasn't budging. Number one, I was lazy AF my whole pregnancy. I didn't do no exercise. I ate and slept. It's just that simple. Because I feel like that's what you're supposed to do. Excuse me. I feel like that's what you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be getting pepper. You're pregnant. Why are you doing all this extra mess? At my last prenatal appointment, before they scheduled the induction or whatever, they were saying, when I was like 39 weeks, yeah, that's when we had went in, and they were saying, I mean, we can go all the way up to 41 weeks, but then it's going to be an automatic induction and, you know, possible cesarean. And I didn't want a C-section either. And I told y'all I don't want to be induced. But I was saying, well, I'd rather just hold off as long as I can, but we'll schedule a date, because the 30th was going to be the Wednesday of a week. And my boyfriend, he was just so worried. He's like, I don't know, I don't want you to go too long and it'd be too hard for you and all this. I'm like, she's going to come when she's ready. When she checked at the last appointment, I was only 1 centimeter dilated. So, I mean, my cervix was starting to soften a little bit. You know what I'm saying? When you're 1 centimeter, it's not really too much going on, not too much shaking. Don't look like you can have a baby anytime soon. Yeah, so I was walking, doing a little light stuff, trying to get her to come. She wasn't really budging. I still wasn't feeling any contractions. I was hardly feeling any Braxtons, like barely having any Braxton Hicks contractions. But the day that I was scheduled to be induced was December 2nd, Friday, December 2nd, early in the morning, at 8 in the morning. I was scheduled to go into the hospital to be induced. Thursday night, I kid you not, I think at my last appointment when we were talking about the induction or whatever, because I said I was open to getting my membrane swept, and that's a way to get labor started. That's a way to start opening up your cervix more by separating it from the membrane and stuff like that. So I told her I was open to it, and I think she might have done it. I'm not too sure. She said when she was doing the cervix checks, when she told me that I was a centimeter dilated, I think that's what she did. Either way it goes, I told her I was open to it. But that Thursday night before my induction date, I started feeling contractions so horrible, and I didn't even know. I started having contractions Thursday night, and when I tell you, it was just so strong, and they just kept happening over and over, and I was like, bro, what is going on? Like, I was in so much pain. You can ask my boyfriend. I was in just so much pain. I tried to lay down. It wasn't working, and I was just like, I can't do it. We have to go to the hospital and see what's up. We gotta go. And by the time we left, because it took me a minute to even be able to get up, like I really couldn't walk. It was just horrible. So by the time we left, it was 4 o'clock in the morning, 4 a.m. And we get to the hospital, and he let them know she's scheduled to be induced later today. Since it's 4 a.m., it's already Friday. I'm scheduled to be induced and all this. So they checked me in and everything. They took me in just a triage room real quick to get my IV stuff started and everything. And I was telling them I need I need some pain medicine. I need something, because these contractions, whatever this is, it's killing me right now. Like it's yeah, I mean, the pain was 11 out of 10, and I still wasn't dilated at all. But the first lady who came in and tried to do my IV, she fucked up. The shit started swelling up. It was a big fat knot in my arm. That was horrible. So we didn't even notice until another nurse came in there, and she was like, oh no, we have to move this. So they were trying to find a good vein. My veins are very weak, you guys. If you know, you know. My veins are very weak. After all of that, after the intake and everything, then she checked my cervix again, and I was 2 centimeters dilated. So at this point, I'm thinking labor was already starting. I'm not even too sure. Fast forward, the medicine started kicking in. I fell asleep. I know that I was asleep for a majority of the time I was laboring. I was asleep. I told them, give me the meds. I don't want to feel nothing. So I know that I was asleep. After, I guess they got me set up in that room, then they moved me down to an actual labor and delivery room, like maybe 10-20 minutes later. So this was the room that we was going to be in for, I guess, the rest of the day. So when we got in that room, they hooked me back up to all the machines. Then the lady came in and she said, we're just going to go ahead and get started with your induction instead of waiting till 8. You know, fine by me. Only thing is, with the induction, they administer Pitocin, and that is what brings on the contractions. That's what speeds up the contractions to get you going and get labor moving along, so it won't be there all day. I didn't want to be induced because of Pitocin, because I know that it makes contractions 1,000 times worse. I didn't want to. I promise you, I did not want the Pitocin. I was like, well, I kept asking, like, I was like, can you do a small, swallow? No, do you have to keep upping it? You know what I'm saying? I really didn't want her to do that at all, but that's what the induction is. So she was saying, we'll just do it, I'll come back in and check and see how far how far you keep getting along. If you're still not really progressing, then I'm gonna up it, you know what I'm saying? So I'm on pain meds. I can't feel anything. Anytime I would wake up, I would feel the contractions. I definitely would. The pain medicine only put me to sleep. It didn't really, stop the feeling of the contractions. That's what the epidural would do. So I'm not even too sure. I don't know how far along I was dilating. I don't know any of that, because again, I was in and out of sleep, and it was just my boyfriend there in the room with me. One time I woke up, my whole family was in there, visiting, and they were alternating rubbing my back because the contractions were still that horrible. Like, I promise you. Then I guess it became, I was dilated enough to where I could start getting the epidural. So then the doctor, the anesthesiologist, he came in and he was going to administer epidural. When I tell y'all, the strongest, fattest contraction came right when he was telling me I have to sit up, and they were like, you gotta sit up, move to the edge of the bed, make sure you're not, you gotta relax, and you gotta bend over and all that stuff like this. Y'all, oh my goodness, it was so hard trying to sit still to be able to get the epidural. He did the epidural. My boyfriend was there trying to hold me up and support me, because y'all, I was in pain. I had a contraction just moving at the same exact time. He was there trying to help me sit straight enough. So he put the epidural, he stuck the needle in my back. When he first stuck the needle, it was like a little, it surprised me. It was a sharp little pinch at first, but it doesn't hurt. Like, I don't even know what the needle looks like. I was told that it's a pretty big needle, but it really doesn't hurt. I didn't immediately start feeling numb. I didn't immediately stop feeling the pain or whatever in my bottom half, because I could still feel my thighs and stuff. So it was like maybe it took about 5 minutes to really kick in. But after it did, everything was a lot better. I fell asleep again, and by the time I woke back up, basically it was time for me to push. I felt as though I had to poop. When I tell y'all, I have been feeling like that like the day before I even went in the hospital. I have been feeling like I had to poop so bad. So when I woke up, I was like, I mean, I gotta poop. They have already put the catheter in there for if I had to pee or whatever. But I was saying, I don't know what to do. I gotta poop. I can't hold it. It feels like I can't hold it. It feels like it's about to fall out of my butt. Like, that's how serious it was. I told the lady, I'm finna get this out. So she came and she checked, and she was saying, okay, well, I think you can actually start pushing for the baby. So that's when the actual delivery nurse, it was all women, all women doctors. The only one who was a male was the anesthesiologist for the epidural. I had all women in there to help me deliver. The lady came, and mind you guys, my water hadn't broken. My water was not broken. It didn't break. Before I went to the hospital, it didn't break at all. She came and she had went ahead and broke my water, and baby had pooped already, actually. So it was black. She had already pooped. So they had to hurry up, basically. I could not stall the labor. They had to hurry up. I wasn't too sure how to push. I was just, basically pushing with my face, like this was hurting. But I will say this. You know how they are always talking about like a ring of fire when her head is crowning? I didn't feel it at all. I didn't feel it. The only pain I felt was how long it was taking. Like, I was just getting irritated because they kept saying, okay, a couple more pushes, you're almost there, a couple more pushes. Clearly, I'm not almost there if I keep having to have these same couple of pushes and y'all keep lying to me. That was irritating me. But yeah, so another nurse, she came in, and I guess she was noticing that I clearly didn't know how to push. So she came and she started grabbing my hand. Keep in mind, my boyfriend's already on this side recording and trying to support at the same time, excited all over the place. But she came, she grabbed my hand, and she was telling me, okay, on 3 we're going to push, and you're going to hold it, and you're going to basically you're going to push as if you're actually pooping. You know what I'm saying? Not really necessarily trying to push with your face or your face muscle or whatever. But she helped out a lot, guys. I went back and looked at the video after I was done giving, like the next day after I was done giving birth. It took me 10 minutes to deliver her. 10 minutes total. It wasn't too bad, actually, delivering. It really wasn't too bad pushing her out. But again, I owe that up to the epidural, to be very honest with you, because without it, I'm quite sure I would have felt all of that, excuse me. But yeah, so again, I'm pushing. They're like, okay. Then her head popped out, and I'm like, this is where I was like, oh my god, I'm tired of this. I can't, like, it's starting to, it's like, I'm like, I was like, can y'all just like pull her out now? Like, I can't do this no more. Can y'all pull her out? And she was saying, just keep pushing. I probably insert that clip.
You got it, baby. Deep breath. Give me one more. Deep breath. One more breath. Come on, baby. Nuchal. Push. And come on, baby. You got it. You got it, baby. Good job, baby. Look down. Good job, baby. She's here.
Yeah, my experience, it wasn't too bad. Staying in the hospital, it wasn't bad neither. They do come in, keep checking you. Only thing I didn't like was those fundal massages either, where they keep coming in and pressing down on your stomach to make sure that you're bleeding okay, that you're not bleeding too much, that you're not going to hemorrhage, that it's not any clots or anything. They come and check you maybe every 3-4 hours, and they press down on your stomach, and it hurts every single time. I won't lie to you. Yeah, but again, everybody's pain tolerance and stuff is different. Mine, I thought I had a high pain tolerance. If you knew me in high school, you would know I'm saying that. But I thought I had a pretty good pain tolerance. But again, when them contractions were coming the night before, I was done. You know what I'm saying? I was over it. I had her maybe a week and a half ago. I had her December 2nd at 12 in the afternoon. She was supposed to be due November 30th. I stayed in the hospital for 3 days. The afterbirth experience, oh, another thing, when I delivered, I had to get 2 stitches internally, so I really didn't tear too bad, but yeah, I had to get 2 stitches. Some things that I'm quite sure some of y'all might be worried about if you're delivering is the healing process. When you go to the bathroom, for me personally, when I went to go and pee, the first maybe 2 or 3 times I really had to use the peri bottle that they give you at the hospital. I didn't bother buying one because they gave me like 3 of them, so it really didn't make sense. The one that the hospital has works just fine, I promise. You don't have to spend the extra money getting all the stuff you see on TikTok, you know, all the stuff that you see everybody else getting. You really don't have to, unless you want to get extra like pads and stuff. It's really not necessary, but again, every person is different. For me, I said, I mean, it makes no sense if the hospital is giving me them, and I'm going to take extra regardless because it's in the room. But yeah, I had to use the peri bottle maybe a couple of times, honestly, because it didn't hurt to go. It was kind of like a sting at first, but then once your body gets used to it, then it's like, okay, you know what I'm saying? But I still used it because I didn't really want to, it was kind of hard to use tissue. It hurt to use tissue. Yes, you're going to be bleeding for a while. I still am bleeding. TMI, but yes, I'm still bleeding. About a week and a half later, you're going to be bleeding. So it is okay to go ahead and stock up on pads. And if you want the little overnight diapers, I like them. It's okay. The first poop, here's something that I definitely am going to recommend you guys. If you are not giving birth yet, go ahead and start taking stool softeners. I promise you. I wish that I did because I already know myself. I already get constipated a lot. I should have been taking them. The first poop was horrible for me, guys. We're just going to leave it at that. It was so horrible and painful. And what else? My back pain after having the epidural, guys, it is a 10 out of 10 on some days. It's a 7 out of 10 some days. I really can't bend too much. My back hurts bad. It hurts at the bottom where they did the epidural. It hurts at the top. Y'all, that's really why I didn't want the epidural too, because I knew the back pain was going to be horrible for a while. My mommy body right now, I still have a little small belly, a little jiggly belly. All the weight that I gained from being pregnant is gone, basically. It's just my belly left. I have huge boobs because I am breastfeeding. My supply came in like as soon as I left the hospital, guys. I'm blessed with a wonderful supply to breastfeed. Another thing, if you are going to be breastfeeding, you're going to be hungry and thirsty a lot, and it's imperative that you do eat something before you breastfeed. Otherwise, you're going to either be nauseous or you're going to feel like you have to faint. Another thing is when you're breastfeeding, you're going to feel contractions still because it's the same hormones being released, so you're still going to feel contractions for a little while. Mine thankfully have stopped. So again, I gave birth to this beautiful baby girl, Sayori Jade, on December 2nd. Fat mama. All these lights so bright. I don't want these bright lights on my tube. I gave birth to her. Okay, guys. Yeah. So it has been real. I enjoy catching up and sharing this moment with you guys. Hopefully I answered any questions that any expectant mommies might have had. I just went out the dome telling my story and answering and giving a little advice, you know, because these are some things that maybe, you know, I was wondering about myself. Don't forget to like and comment. Please subscribe if you enjoy seeing me and hearing me talk. If you are a mommy and you want to see some more mommy content, I am going to try and get more day in the life videos. I am going to try and be more consistent on here. For real this time, I got a baby to feed. So yeah, we finna be in it. Feel free to follow me on socials, reach out. I'm very easy to talk to. I would love talking to new people. And again, thank you guys for watching.
Nikita be there when I'm lonely. When I see you, you be all on me. For the whip, bet she gon' push up on me.